Welcome to another episode of Rey
Nev.
and we're gonna call this episode the random episode, right?
Exactly.
Exactly, and the reason why we're doing that is because we don't know what to talk about. You know why?
We never see anything down in the comments.
We get no feedback. I mean, we got feedback from a couple people that said, awesome show, but never telling us what you guys want to hear.
Exactly.
So we're just gonna sit here and talk about whatever comes to the top of our head, right? So Neville.
Actually, I would ask the first question.
Oh, damn.
What's new in La Rosa?
What's new at La Rosa? La Rosa is a general?
Yeah.
So I don't know if we can broadcast this, but we're doing big things at La Rosa. We're doing big things. One thing. Oh, I could tell you one thing that's new. We have the backpack drive coming.
Yep, we do.
We have the backpack drive. That's going to be August 1st.
August 1st, we're going to have a backpack drive. So if you have any kids that need any school supplies, definitely come by, drive by.
Yeah, it's a drive-by. It's a drive-by.
Okay, yeah, drive by August 1st. Do you know what times we're going to be doing?
2 to 4.
Between 2 and 4, and we're going to be handing out book bags along with any of the school supplies that are needed.
Yeah, the good thing about that is going to come inside the bag. So they're going to have the stuff in the book bag. We're going to give it to the kids. We have a variety of colors.
Okay.
We're going to be doing it as a company-wide thing. So if you're not close to our office, which I'll give you guys the address in a minute, but if you are close to like downtown, or if you're close to Longwood or Apopka, we're going to be doing it at all of our locations. So that'll be great. So our office address is 1805 West Colonial Drive.
Yep.
And we're in Suite B, Orlando, Florida, 32804. All right. So if you have a child and you want to get them a really awesome book bag with all the school supplies in it, we're going to be donating about 200 of them.
Okay.
Out of this location.
At this location.
So that's one thing that's up with La Rosa. What else is up with La Rosa?
I've been hearing rumors of an IPO.
IPO. Ooh, I don't know if we can talk about that, but what the hell? Yeah, we're thinking about going public. So right now it's in the works, and I don't know more or less when it's going to happen, but that's going to be, I think it's going to be a huge thing for our company. It's going to be huge for the agents, obviously. Mm-hmm. It gives them an opportunity to grow and become owners of a company that they work for and love, So I know I love this company. It's done a ton for me. I know it's probably done a ton for you.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I think that this is a step in the right direction. That's what I feel.
What do you think it means for the consumer, the ones that aren't real estate agents or aren't actually signed up with this office?
So for our agents and any agents throughout the company, they're going to have the opportunity to become owners by buying into the company. So and the more we perform every year, we break records, and we've been breaking records for the last 4 or 5 years. So I think it's a step in the positive direction, and I think it's something that we're going to be able to see kind of an explosion, because I think it's one of the things that we were missing as a major corporation, because we are a major corporation. Matter of fact, I met with an agent the other day who said, I was looking at your company, and I'm like, I didn't know that you guys are pretty big. And I'm like, oh, yeah, we've been in Orlando for a while.
Yeah. And
he said, yeah, I didn't know how many offices you really had until I did some research. So that alone, that didn't make him make the decision to come to La Rosa. One of the things that I would say was the biggest determining factor of him coming over, because he's already worked for a company that went public, is the freedom that we have to run your business the best way you know how. So that being said, something that just came to my head based on what we're talking about, what's the difference between AgentCentric and and BrokerCentric to you?
AgentCentric, I think it means more or less we're helping the agents build their business, as opposed to just building the brokerage, where it's like every individual agent is seen as a business within themselves.
Correct. And that's how you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, that's how I see it too. I wanted to make sure we had the same kind of philosophy of how that is, because I think that it's very important for every agent out there to realize that opening up a brokerage is not always the next step.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it could be a step for many agents,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't necessarily have to be. One of the biggest examples that I use is Microsoft. So,
Okay.
as you well know, Microsoft has one of the richest men in the world, which is Bill Gates. But then you have, I think it's Steve Bonner,
Mm-hmm.
who was president with the company, and he ended up buying the Los Angeles Clippers.
Yeah.
You know, and then I think they have about 12 high millionaires to billionaires that they built through within the company. So I call that an entrepreneur. An
Mhm.
entrepreneur is someone that's a number two, right, within the company, but loves the company, wants to build the company, but yet is profiting and becoming very successful and growing along with the company.
So do you think that's what agent-centric is?
I think what AgentCentric is it gives you the ability and the freedom to do the business the way you want to, and not have to worry about that liability. You put that liability back on the broker. So a lot of people don't realize when you open up an office, you know, you take on a lot of added expenses
Mhm.
that normally your broker would take care of. Staff, lights, electricity, you got, you know, internet, you got to make sure the office is running right,
Licensing.
you know, licensings. Not only a business license, you need your broker's license, you need your office license, you know, you got to have an accountant to make sure your 1099s, everything goes out properly. It's a lot that goes behind running the business itself, as opposed to saying, hey, I'm an agent, I love what I do, I want to go ahead and, you know, have an amazing year, but at the same time, I got to run this office.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
It's a lot harder. But someone that wants to be an agent, create a team, and build that team to something incredible, you can do anything in regards to your license. So that way, what happens is you can pretty much have the best of both worlds. Now, there are agents out there that want to be, for the lack of a better term, want to be, let's say, a broker because they want to build an empire.
Yeah.
Then, you know, that may be a step. If they want to build a legacy, build something big, and not be an entrepreneur, but more of an entrepreneur, then building their own business is where they want to go.
Yeah.
But I don't think that that for most people that's a step that they want to take. So what do you think?
I definitely agree with you as far as that being more agent-centric, being an entrepreneur, building within your business, and not worrying about the additional add-ons where you're just focusing on growing your business and everything else around it.
I agree, and that's damn that puts it right on the nail. It's the
Sure.
So awesome. What else do you want to talk about today?
Wow, those were some quick points right there.
Yeah.
Next thing to talk about is, this is actually a question I have for you. Do you feel like it's better to work from home or work from the office?
Work from the office 100% to me.
Why do you say that?
Because I'm a creature of habit, and mentally I have to be where I am. So when I'm home, you know, I'm home. I want to be with my family. I want to spend time, relax. I don't want nobody calling me. So that's kind of like my safe space. That's like my space where I go to relax. I don't want to take no calls from home. I mean, during COVID, I hated it. I'm like, oh God, who's calling me now? Because I'm at home. But that's my reason. What's yours? Which way? First of all, which one works better for you?
I like a combination of the two. I like working from home because even though I wake up super early, the first thing I'm doing is making calls, but I'm not even dressed yet.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable.
You don't feel weird? I can't call in shorts. I'm just saying. I can't do it.
At first I did feel weird, but then as time went on, I just noticed I'm more comfortable, so I'm more comfortable on the phone as well.
Okay.
So, but I also do like coming into the office, where it's like I treat the office as like my home base. where it's like I need to come and touch in with home base every day and just like get kind of recentered and then go out into the world to work.
Okay, well that makes sense. I understand that. I don't know. I think what happened with me is when I started in the business, the broker that I worked for was very forceful about making sure we were at the office every day. And then we took 2 days off. So we had our own schedule. We were, independent contractors, so we could come and go as we please. But I kind of felt, because I came from corporate America, so I wanted to make sure that I felt like I was working when I was working. And corporate America, doing it so long, I did it from when I was 18 till I was about 33. So actually, 33 or 32, around there. So doing it for all that time, it made me realize that when you're at home, you're at home. When you're at work, and then I created that habit. Mm-hmm. So I'll be honest with you, when I'm at home and somebody calls me, I gotta run to the room, put on some pants. I can't take the call in my shorts. I can't do it. It's unfortunate, but I can't do it.
That's crazy.
So
I gotta put on a whole suit before I answer the phone.
Yeah, sometimes.
And you know what? I do believe you do that. Because when I call, you never answer on the first time. I gotta call a second time.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, shoot, it's never. Okay. Hold on, let me get. Hello. So. But a lot of it has to be with the fact that I wanted to keep both separate. For me, it just makes sense. Now, if COVID did anything to show me different, is that sometimes you have to adapt, because obviously we were doing trainings from our houses. We were calling people to check how they were doing from our houses. So, because we were on lockdown, but I think I don't ever want to go back through that. But if I do, I do. But I definitely feel that I don't want to. I want to definitely keep the way in the environment that we currently have, because I love the culture we have. And I feel you lose the culture. If we all work from home, we would lose the culture 100%, because you don't get to see people.
Yep.
What happens when you haven't seen an agent in a long time? What do you?
I see them. I'm like, where you been?
Exactly. So
it's been X amount of time. I haven't seen you. What's going on? How's your life going?
And that's one of the biggest problems that I see, that you're gonna lose culture for people that, like, there's a ton of companies that decided, working from home is more productive. But in the short term, you're good. But in the long term, if you had a great culture, you're gonna lose that culture. And the thing is, the people will eventually get tired, because there's gonna be some people that will do it and they're okay with it, and then there's some people like, nah, I can't work from home. Fuck this, I can't do this. And those are the people that you're gonna be afraid of losing, and sometimes those may be your top people. And they'll go work at a firm that will end up recruiting them just off of that. I'll give you a quick story. So I was listening to a podcast the other day, and they were talking about how the president of Chase decided everybody's coming back to work, right? So what happened was, a lot of people were, look, you want to meet? Let's go through Zoom. So what the Chase reps were doing is the high money clients, instead of meeting them in person like in the past, they would say, let's do a Zoom. They were just staying cozy. That customer lost that human touch and felt it. So then Lehman Brothers came behind them and said, hey, I'll meet you at your house. Yeah. Would you move your portfolio over to us? We'd give you that personal touch. Boom. They lose a couple of $1 million in clientele. The next week, he announces, we're all going back to work. See what I mean? So it's a factor. It's a factor. We don't know how impactful it's going to be for now until a few years from now. But if it keeps going in that trajectory around the world, we're going to see an impact. I'll see an impact. What's your opinion on that?
I like coming into the office because it always feels like a learning experience. Where I hear someone else's issues that they're coming across on their deal, and I use that more or less to learn from their experiences. Or even if I have an issue, I know I can come to somebody else here and let them know like what's going on, and they give me suggestions. So that's really why I like coming to the office. I treat the office more like a classroom, where it's like I'm coming in here to learn something. That's just my thoughts.
That makes sense. And that's the thing, I mean, and you're right. When you come to the office, once again, keep in mind that's a habit.
Mm-hmm.
So if you create it as a habit that you're coming to learn, then if you start coming and you don't learn anything, you're gonna eventually not want to come anymore.
That's
so
true.
it's all mindset. It's all mindset. So making sure that that the office serves the purpose of what you're looking for.
Yeah.
And you look for the environment that you could thrive in. So that being said, I think that's our random episode. What do you think?
I think it's good. If you guys have anything that you want to hear about that we haven't discussed yet, definitely drop it down in the comments.
Yeah, because what we want to do is we want to answer your questions. We want to help you with your dilemmas. We want to try to fix whatever problems you have and answer any questions that you have about real estate. So thank you so much. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week.